Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you about something really interesting. Recently I read an article about transgenerational memory, and it's an article that was published in a Journal of Neuroscience from a study that was done in Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, where they are proving that DNA actually gets imprinted with the strong emotional content, meaning like stress or fear or severe trauma, and then that information gets passed on through the genetic blueprint into the subsequent generation and possibly several generations. So, why am I giving you this information? Well, because a lot of us have these fears that we don't even know where they came from. And for a long time, we believed it was just us, or maybe it was our environment. And although, yes, we may have enhanced those fears, and yes, our environment, the people who raised us, the cultural conditioning, old experiences may have also contributed, you might not realize that you might be carrying your great-grandmothers, your great-grandfathers, your grandmothers, your grandfathers, your mother and father's anguish, fear, phobias, insecurities, or severe trauma like war trauma or abuse. And the reason I think nature does that is that, say you grow up in a war-torn environment and you reproduce in that environment, you want the offspring, without having to be told, to have an automatic fear of the people in those uniforms, right? Or you grow up in the jungle and there's lots and lots of dangerous, poisonous spiders there, and those babies need to come out with an automatic instinct to stay away from something that looks like that spider. So I think it's a smart thing that nature's doing. It's an uncomfortable thing for us because we end up carrying these accumulated feelings inside of us that don't even make sense. So the good news is that you can clear that with tapping. So whether you want to call it a past life memory or a genetic memory or something that you have an unreasonable association towards, it doesn't matter. We're going to practice clearing it today. Um, so much of inner work is really just processing layers of fear and moving through them and being done with that old energy that's just leftover energy from another time and place. Okay? So here we go. Massaging the front of the chest. Big deep breath, big sigh. Even though I picked up some leftover memory from my ancestors, I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Big breath, big sigh. Tap your eyebrows, this leftover memory. So think about one of those things that you might have a fear of water or a phobia of heights or something that you flash on when you watch movies from a certain era that kind of feels haunting to you. Tap the front of the cheeks. This unreasonable fear. Focus on one fear that feels kind of unreasonable to you and breathe. Tap under the nose. This unreasonable fear of what? Tap under the lips. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. And just be open to it, even with this unreasonable fear. Tap into your chest. This unreasonable fear of what? Tune into it for a second. See if you can feel it. Good. Tap the front of your ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even with this unreasonable fear of what? Say it again. And tap the side of the rib cage. I deeply and completely forgive myself, and I'm open to releasing the genetic imprint that tells me to fear what? Think about it again. Tap the inside of your wrist. This fear of, let's say it 3 times. This fear of. This fear of. Tap the side of the thumb. It could even be something as simple as a fear of being seen. That, your ancestors may have had to hide a lot of who they were and what they were doing and their political beliefs or their religious beliefs. Or even hide their money. There was a time when people didn't put their money in a bank. They hid it in a hole in the ground or a hole in the floor or, Big breath. Good. This fear. Where did this fear come from? Tap the middle finger. It's okay if I don't understand it. Big breath, big sigh. Tap the bottom of the 4th finger. It's safe for me to release this inherited fear. Let's say that 3 times. It's safe for me to release this inherited fear. Tap your little finger. It's safe for me to release this inherited fear and breathe. Big soft breath. And I want you to send a wave of compassion and empathy through space and time, all the way back. Tap the side of your hand to wherever that fear started. You don't even have to know. You might know, but you don't have to know. Big breath. Good. Tap the top of the head. The war is over. Tap the sides of the head. The struggle is over. Tap the back of the head. The trauma is over. Big breath. Tap the eyebrows. This old leftover imprint. Tap the temples. It's possible to release it now. Tap the cheeks. It's time to release it now from my body. Big breath. Tap under the nose. This fear of what? And tap under the lips. Where do you think it came from? Just make a random guess. I think it came from big breath. And tap the chest. Even if it did come from, and then say your guess again. Tap the front of the ribs, and it's been passed on for generations. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. And tap the side of the rib cage. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even if this fear came from, say it again. Good. Tap the inside of the wrist. It's safe for me to clear this for who? You can say for the people I don't know, for my mother's side of the family, my great-grandfather, whoever you think it's involving. Good. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm cleaning this up for myself and for them. Big breath. Send another big wave of compassion to whoever it was that felt so stressed out that it felt like life or death. Big breath, big sigh. Tap the index finger. I'm cleaning this up for my own DNA. Tap your middle finger. I'm cleaning this out of my bloodline. Big breath, big sigh. It's safe to clean this up. Tap the bottom of your 4th finger. It's my blood now. It's my choice now. I don't have to carry this for future generations. Tap your little finger. This old fear. Big breath. Tap the side of the hand. This old fear. Say it again. Tune into it. Can you still feel it? Big breath, big sigh. Hang in there. It's coming out. Big breath. Tap the top of the head. This old fear of what? Tap the sides of the head. It's safe to release it. What would the opposite of that old fear be? So if it was fear of spiders, you would say, I feel comfortable and safe around spiders. Or if it was fear of being killed by the enemy, then it's, there's no enemy, I'm safe. Okay? It's possible that, and now say the positive reverse of the fear. Tap the temples. I'm allowing myself to feel safe. Big breath. Tap your cheeks. I forgive my ancestors for being so shocked. Tap under the nose, so traumatized. Tap under the lips, so scared. Big breath, big sigh. And tap your chest. I'm allowing myself to clean this up for past generations, for myself, and for future generations. Good. Feel free to replay this and keep going if you need to. Tap all over your body. Tell yourself, I'm brave. We made it. All is well. We survived.